Now, 4 impeachment complaints have been filed. Session to determine the sufficiency in form of all 4 impeachment complaints versus the Vice President.
So ito nga mga bayan, nagbukas na po ang panimulang impeachment laban kay VP SARA Duterte sa pangunguna ni Congressman LUISTRO sa House of Representatives. Watch po natin ang nagaganap sa hearing na ito mga kabayan.
Now we shall proceed to vote. Again, our parliamentary status, there is a pending motion to declare, to set aside the first impeachment complaint, that is Castro et al. Impeachment complaint on the ground of violation of 1-year prohibition period. The same has been seconded, the same has been objected to as well, and we shall now proceed to divide the House. Those who are in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. You may now put down your hands. Those who are not in favor of the motion, please raise your right hand. You may put down your hands. Last, those who abstain, please raise your right hand. Secretariat, the result of the voting, please. With 22 votes in the affirmative and 10 votes in the negative, with 0 abstention, the chair set aside the first impeachment complaint, the Castro et al. Impeachment complaint on the ground of violation of 1-year prohibition period. So ruled.
Chair.
The Honorable Ko.
Point of clarification only.
Come again?
A point of clarification.
Yes. What is your point of clarification?
Can this representation clarify what the meaning of set aside is? Ano po ba yung parang legal effect nito dito sa buong proceedings?
By set aside, it means that it will no longer be included in the proceeding of this committee. With all due respect to the endorsers of the first impeachment complaints. But of course, I wish to state for the record that I think all our endorsers are members and ex officio members of the Justice Committee, and we encourage all of you to continue actively participating in the deliberation, if not as endorser, then as esteemed members of the Justice Committee.
Thank you, Chair.
That is for the record. We shall now proceed to our determination in form. Because of the withdrawal of the second impeachment complaint and the setting aside of the first impeachment complaint, it now appears that there are only 2 impeachment complaints, the third and the fourth. The third is the Reverend Father Sabala et al. Impeachment complaint, and the fourth is the Cabrera impeachment complaint. We are now proceeding to the determination of sufficiency in form. may we request the endorser of the third impeachment complaint to make a quick manifestation as to her position with respect to the third impeachment complaint sufficiency in form.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As a quick manifestation on the issue of the determination of sufficiency in form of the third complaint that I endorsed, I strongly manifest that the verified impeachment complaint filed by Reverend Father Sabali et al. And duly endorsed with his representation is sufficient in form. In fact, more than sufficient in form. Naniniwala po ako na dun sa Gutierrez versus House Committee on Justice, GR number 193459, February 15, 2011, ang sabi ng Supreme Court, the House has formulated determinable standards as to the form and substance of an impeachment. It further says, the impeachment rules are clear in echoing the constitutional requirements and providing that there must be a verified complaint or resolution. There is a verified complaint, duly signed and dated. It was filed through counsel or assisted by counsel, the Sapayan, Lim, Alvarez, and Ligutan or sa legal law offices, and complainants are members of the clergy, priests, pastors, and nuns, members of the bar, and members of NGOs. They are residents of various localities in the Philippines. The complaint was filed last February 9, 2026. No issue on whether or not there is violation of the one-year bar rule because it was filed February 9 or after February 6. At nung final po nung February 9, itong third complaint, dun sa araw na yon, the first two impeachment complaints, yung second nga po ay nan-withdraw na ngayon, on February 2, were not yet included in the order of business. By February 9, 2026, only 3 session days elapsed. So, complainants filed the third impeachment complaint within the 10 session day requirement as interpreted by the Constitution. Na, it's not really the session days that we are used to adopting, but the calendar day where session is held. On February 23 po, yung pag-include sa order of business. He did so, the Speaker did so within 10 session days of the February 2 session, the February 2 session. On the same date, the House referred all the impeachment complaints to the Committee on Justice. Their referral was also well within the 3-day session day requirement under the Constitution. Verification, the requirement of verification, it squarely complies. Nakalakip sa complaint ang individual separate verifications and certifications of non-forum shopping of each of the 13 complaints. Hindi po ito joint verification but individual. Kung saan malinaw na pinahayag under oath ng mga complainants na kanilang nabasa, ang complaint at ang mga aligasyon ay totoo at wasto batay sa kanilang personal knowledge o sa authentic records. Ito ay pirmado at sinumpaan sa harap ng iba't ibang notary public dahil nga po galing sa iba-ibang lugar yung complainants. Yung endorsement, wala rin pong problema. It's here, the resolution endorsing the impeachment complaint. This is on the top of this of the complaint with its annexes. So kung ang tanong ay nasunod ba ng complaint na ito, mga formal requirements, alinsunod naman sa Constitution at sa rules, ang sagot po ay oo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable De Lima. Now we're opening the floor for comments and manifestation of the Justice members.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Ann Matibag.
Madam Chair, I would like to agree with our Honorable Senator Leila De Lima that the third
Congresswoman
complainant is signed and verified by the complainant, Reverend Father Joel Sabale et al. And attached to the complaint, Madam Chair, are the verifications of the complainant.
All right. Any other member who wishes to manifest or comment as to the sufficiency in form of the third impeachment complaint, that is Abalia et al. Impeachment complaint?
Madam Chair, Chair.
The Honorable Franz Legaspi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick manifestation as well, just to support my colleague Kong and Matibag, and of course to Kong Laila. I think it's quite clear to everyone here that the form is sufficient in the sense that it complied with the verification requirement, it complied with the rules that we have, specifically Section 3 of Rule 2 of the impeachment proceedings. Particularly upon reviewing the complaint earlier, it's clear it fulfilled the requisites, basically that the affiants are the complainants, the affiants had read and understood the complaint, that more importantly that they are based on the true and personal knowledge or authentic records and documents. So aside from that, I also like to highlight that there's compliance by the clergy and the other people's organizations here, and that this complaint clearly, as mentioned by Kong Laila earlier, was properly endorsed by her office via a resolution as well. So thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Legaspi. Any other member? Honorable
Madam Chair.
Chua?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would like to share the observation of the endorser, the Honorable Laila de Lima, that the third impeachment complaint has faithfully complied with the Supreme Court's ruling and the pronouncement on impeachment. I totally agree that it is within the period as provided, and in fact, it was filed on February 9. It was included in the order of business on February 23, and on the same day, it was also referred to the Committee on Justice within the time frame as provided by the Constitution, by the rules, and by the Supreme Court's decision. Thus, it is my view that the third impeachment complaint complies with the jurisdictional requirement when it comes to the issue on one-year bar rule. And hence, it is timely filed.
Just wish to state for the record that the third impeachment complaint was filed on February 9, 2026, and then was included in the order of business and referred to this committee on February 23, 2026. That is for the record. The Honorable Vice Chair Dumogan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, I fully support as far as that issue is concerned. I have a point of inquiry. What is the effect of the complaint which we had just previously dismissed on this third and fourth complaint? Look, we said, that's the decision of this committee. It was filed within the prohibitive period of 1 year, but it was referred to by this committee, and this committee had decided that it was within the 1 year bar rule, so we did not consider it. What will be its effect? Will it bar this third and fourth complaint?
The Honorable Dumogan, I understand that the issue with respect to the first impeachment complaint has been resolved already.
Yes. And what is the effect of the decision of this committee not to consider it? Because it is within.
The only consequence of that ruling, Honorable Vice Chair, is for us to be able to proceed with the third and fourth impeachment, and we will not be including anymore in our deliberation the first impeachment complaint. That is the consequence of the ruling of the motion.
I am worried on that ruling. Anyway, it's my view. I'm really worried on that ruling. Thank
Madam
you.
Chair,
The Honorable De Lima.
just to add a point, whether it was the earlier period, which is
January 14.
January 14 or 21, because 21 is a referral to the committee, or the February 6, which is the one stated in the main decision, this does not violate, the third complaint did not at all, or does not violate the 1 year bar rule, since yung pinakauna na mga na-file was February 2. And therefore, doon nga tayo nag-count nung 10 session days and 3 session days thereafter. So no problem at all, no effect on the third and even the fourth complaint.
Yes, that is correct. We totally agree to that whether we consider the January 14 as the lapse of the one-year prohibition period or the February 5 to make it possible for the second impeachment on February 6, the third impeachment complaint rightly falls within the allowable period in both dates as perspective. If there are no other members who wish to comment on the sufficiency in form of the third impeachment complaint, we shall proceed to hear the position of the endorser of the fourth impeachment complaint. No more members?
Madam Chair,
We recognize the Honorable Deputy Speaker Paulo Ortega to manifest his position with respect to the sufficiency in form of the fourth impeachment complaint, that is Cabrera impeachment complaint.
thank you, Madam Chair. Maikli lamang po, would like to manifest that in terms of form and requirements, the fourth impeachment complaint has complied in terms of form, and we have endorsed it on the date February 18, 2026. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Now we are opening the floor for comments and manifestations of the justice members
Madam.
with respect to the sufficiency in form of the fourth impeachment complaint. The Honorable Zamora is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As regards the fourth complaint, the complainant, a certain attorney Nathaniel G. Cabrera, signed the same and also executed a verification which states as follows: the allegations in the complaint are true and correct based on my personal knowledge or based on authentic records. The verification was signed and notarized on February 18 in Quezon City and was notarized by a certain attorney Jason San Buenaventura. The resolution of endorsement by Representatives Benvenido M. Abante Jr. and Representative Francisco Paulo V. Ortega V was signed on February 18, 2026. Both of them subscribed and swore before the Secretary General on even date. So, Madam Chair, we believe that the fourth impeachment complaint is compliant with the requirements of the sufficiency of form. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other member who wish to comment on the sufficiency in form of the fourth impeachment complaint? No more? Can we proceed to vote now? As agreed upon at the onset, after we conclude on the deliberation on all the impeachment complaints, which at this point we only have two, the third and the fourth impeachment complaint, we shall proceed to vote. The chair is now ready to hear the motion with respect to the sufficiency or insufficiency in form of the third impeachment complaint.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Zamora.
Madam Chair, I move to declare the third impeachment complaint as sufficient in form.
There is a motion to declare the third impeachment complaint sufficient in form. Do I hear a second? Is there any objection? Hearing none. The chair declares the third impeachment complaint, that is Father Zabalia et al. Impeachment complaint, sufficient in form. So ruled. The chair is now ready to hear the motion on the fourth impeachment complaint. The Honorable Padiernos.
Madam Chair, I move to declare the fourth impeachment complaint as sufficient in form.
There is a motion to declare the fourth impeachment complaint, that is Cabrera impeachment complaint, sufficient in form. Do I hear a second? The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none. The chair declares the fourth impeachment complaint, that is Cabrera impeachment complaint, sufficient in form. So ruled.